everyone. Here we are recording at Frosted Nug Productions. This is our general trigger warning. This podcast discusses death, child loss, suicide, mental health, and grief. We are not trauma professionals or therapists. We offer no professional advice. We are just two friends with a lot of life experiences who want to help others. Welcome to Because of Eli. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Erica.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good. And I am so excited to have Karen here today. Our guest is Karen Feeley. She took such good care of my son, Eli. She's the owner of Strano and Feeley. And I'm so happy to have her here today.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you to both of you. It was an honor to take care of Eli.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And everyone there was so kind. And Eli looked like Eli.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? That is a testament to the whole staff, because literally there's so many moving parts of so many people involved. True craftsmen that really do so much of the work to have your loved one back into the position and the way you want them to look and remember them. Yeah. So it's really, I'm blessed to have an amazing staff of people that really and truly care and help do their best every day.
I definitely felt that.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I mean, the amount of time, even just that first visit that everyone spent just talking and making sure everything was clear and set to go.
Even the young lady that I don't know what the proper terminology is, but she worked on him. She came out to meet me, and it was just so nice.
Yeah.
It really was.
I'm so glad to get that feedback, and I'll definitely pass that along to the whole team. Yeah. It's a hard business because you are truly invited into sacred space. You are invited into the inner workings of a family in a time that is just devastating. It's such an incredible loss. It's hard to walk each family through that because of all the dynamics, because of the intensity of loss, and all the human emotions and factors and contributing things. It's hard, and then we have to come in and not only walk the family through that, but also say, like, what are the logistics and what do you want to do? And it just feels it's hard. It's a balancing act between being loving and kind and empathetic on top top of I need you to sign this paper.
Because it's a business.
It is, and there's a lot of moving parts as far as what's involved in taking care of somebody, but it's a privileged space to be. Yeah, it really is.
And I felt it from the first phone call, because Erica was with me and helped me make these phone calls, and I will tell you, there were situations that were not warm and fuzzy, and I immediately was like, no, he's not going there, no. And as soon as I called, and I feel so bad, I don't know the gentleman's name that I spoke with, but he was so kind and just was
it
like,
Aldo?
Oh, it was. Yes, so kind, and just like, Mom, whatever you want, it made me feel like my boy was going to be safe and taken care of.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the most important thing. It's like our family taking care of your family. Because, unfortunately, we've been on the other side of that arrangement table as well. So we can walk you through it with that expertise and that experience, just because we've been there too.
Yeah. It shows.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great.
So
now that we know about the heaviness of what you do on a day-to-day basis, I'd like to ask you, what have you done for yourself this week? Or it doesn't even have to be this week, but that's usually how we ask.
Actually, you're catching me at a good time.
Good.
I literally just got back from vacation. I went to Florida to visit some friends.
Oh, very nice.
So I got back, right before the weekend, and it was just good. It was nice to be in the sunshine. It was really important to step away from the hard days of the regular everyday hard. And it was very refreshing, and it's actually on the heels of the anniversary of my own son's passing and birthday in February. So, it felt good to be around people that also loved him and knew him and stuff like that. So it's important to do that. Yeah. So that's what I did. I took a little trip.
We love trips.
That's great. Yes, we do.
Oh yeah, sign me up.
We do. Yeah, last year, the end of February into March, we were in Disney last year.
Okay.
So it does help being in Florida when it's cold up here.
Yeah,
it does help.
I picked the right week. It wasn't in the sub-zero for Florida.
It was good timing. That's good.
I love going like January, February timeframe because like it's so cold here and you just have a reprieve coming. It's like, I'm gonna, even if it's cold there, it's not as cold as
it's not
here.
as cold as here, right? Not 20 inches of snow.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my
a couple years ago, we went to Port St. Lucie. Jack and I did. And it was so gorgeous down there. And it was February. We got back. It was like 20 degrees here. And we have been down there on the beach in the water. And we come back here like, oh. But it helped me get through the rest of the winter.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Get
got a little bit of sun.
And haven't gone yet this year, so I'm itching to get down there.
You have to get it on the books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one on the book, but it's a secret. My kid doesn't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't
I
realize
told you about
that.
this.
I know, but I didn't realize it was a surprise.
Oh yeah, Miller doesn't know.
Oh,
it's
that's
a
so
mommy
nice.
and Miller trip.
Oh, I didn't know it was a surprise.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
So
That's nice.
hope Miller's not listening.
Yeah.
The 10-year-old won't be listening.
Yeah.
He doesn't even listen if he's staying in the same room.
Yeah. He sat in here with us and he's just doing his thing.
Yep. He came on and we were like, okay, you know what we talk about on here, right? And he goes, no.
Yeah.
And we're like, you just sat here. He goes, I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening at all.
That's funny.
Yeah. So Amy, how about you? What did you do for yourself?
I went out to dinner with friends on Saturday night. Jack and I went with a couple, and that was very nice. Very, very nice.
You went out without us, but that's okay.
I know. I'm so sorry. And Erica had invited us on the same night to go out, but I had already had plans. So
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Sorry.
That's
Next
okay.
time though.
Erin will be really upset that Jack had another friend.
I know.
Our husbands are BFFs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like we've been friends for so long, and then we got them together, and it was like, well, they don't need us anymore.
Well, it was funny because Erica used to be my boss, actually. I worked at Delaware Hospice as well. Oh, am I allowed to say that?
I think so.
Okay.
You're allowed to say you worked there.
Okay.
Not a sponsor.
Okay.
There we go.
So we worked together there, and that's been well over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But they've
such a great
met. They've met, but
We
not
met,
really hung
yeah.
out. And then we went to Disney last year, and we're crammed in this hotel room, the four adults in this hotel room. And
if you were close before, you would be.
Exactly.
Yes, it was either make or break for the friendship.
Exactly. And now they're best friends.
Yes. We're not allowed to have an event where we don't invite both of them because they're like, excuse me, where's my friend?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah, we were told just before we went on our trip, we were like, should we get together so they can hang out a little bit? And we were like, then you guys get to know each other. You know, we're going to be sharing a hotel room. And they're like, we don't need a play date. We're adults. We'll be fine. And I'm like, oh, who knows how this is going to go? And immediately the first night.
Yeah, they were fine.
They were fine.
Yeah, they're fine. Yes.
Yep.
So what did you do for yourself this week?
Oh my gosh, so many things.
I know you've been busy.
We had a whirlwind weekend, Loretta and I. So Loretta is my 17-year-old, and she's a senior in high school. So I expect she's going to be gone next year and like gone far away.
Cram it all in.
I know.
Cram it all in.
That's
Yes.
literally what I've been doing. And so we went on Saturday. We went up to New York and we saw Great Gatsby on Broadway, which was amazing.
I heard that was good.
It is really, really good. The cast was just fantastic. Just blew us away. And then, so we did that. Saturday, took the train up, took the train back, just a one-day trip. And then Monday night, we went to a concert in Philly for somebody that she loves. Yeah, this singer, his name's Conan Gray. Okay. And it was like families. Like, he is a young singer, and he's followed by a young crowd to the point where I'm like, I'm going to go grab myself a drink. And the bar is empty.
Oh, wow.
No one is getting drinks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you open? And they're like, yes, please come. Please come here. And they're like, what can we do for you? What do you want? Anything you want? And I'm like, oh, okay. And I put my order in and they're like, so are you a chaperone or a fan? Because we're seeing a lot of chaperones.
Oh,
and I'm
wow.
like, I can be both, right? And they're like, okay, go away. Yeah. they wanted me to commiserate with them, I think, because there were so many kids. But that was fun. It was like a packed house, and we love concerts. We do concerts up, and we were right on the floor, and she just had the time of her life.
Oh,
so
that's great.
yeah, so it's been continuing to find things to do with her before she goes. We had our first event that we planned for next fall, and I'm like, that's okay, Loretta can watch the little kids and blah blah blah, and they're all like, she's gonna be in college. And I'm like, oh no.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. I totally forgot. And it's like, you know, if she goes somewhere, move-in's like middle of August probably.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, no, this is going to be like a big change very quickly. We'll see. She's been accepted to a lot of nearby places too, so maybe she'll stay nearby.
That's good.
I'm bribing her by taking her to concerts and shows and stuff.
Yeah, you won't get this if you go away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What do you mean you want mom to pay for things? No, I'm sorry, only if I get to go with you.
Yeah.
No, she'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yes, that's what I did for myself. I spent a lot of one-on-one time with her.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. If that's the first time I cry on this thing, I'm gonna when she leaves, that'll be the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Normally she's here. She's like our tech producer.
Yes.
Because she's a comm arts major at CAB, and so she'll like do the tech stuff for us and yell at us because we get too close to the mic.
Yeah. She's like, wants
she
you to
should be
be
here
close,
watching
but
me.
not too close. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. No, she's strict.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. But enough about me.
Yeah.
I'm so excited that you're here, and I'm so excited to hear your story, and just already listening to you talk. I'm ready for it. I have so many questions, and I'm
Okay, well, one of the first things that people usually ask is, how did you end up working in the funeral industry?
Yeah.
And it's kind of been a long, winding road to get here. I graduated from University of Delaware with a degree as a physical therapist, and I did that for many years until I got in a really bad car accident, and I couldn't physically move my patients around and stuff like that. So multiple surgeries later, and then different life events, you know, I just wasn't able to do PT. But we had always been flipping houses, kind of like real estate stuff. I'm kind of like 20 years ahead of the curve on everything. Like HGTV 25 years ago or something like that. But we were flipping houses, and we had friends from church that wanted to learn that. So we started flipping houses with them. And Vince Strano was a licensed funeral director, and he had shared with us that it was always his dream to open his own funeral home.
Oh, wow.
So we kind of got involved with that, and then became partners, and then over the years, that's just what we did.
Yeah.
So we opened in 1997.
Okay.
So we always joke around and say we've been serving the community since the late 1900s.
True.
It's true.
So, I mean, because technically that is correct.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
is. Yeah.
So we were the first new funeral home in Delaware in about 40 years at the time. And we just built our family base, one family at a time. And our mission is to be a blessing to those we serve. So
You're succeeding.
thank you. I appreciate that. It's truly a team effort. It's literally the efforts of every single person that works there. We have a really great team.
Yeah.
Which is a blessing. And then, so we have our own crematory on site, which like we shared that with you too. So we have expanded as as our family base has grown. We did an addition and stuff like that. So that's kind of how we got into the funeral business, which is a far cry from physical therapy, but it is still taking care of people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think you have to be empathetic and caring to do well in a business like this, because literally we are invited into that sacred space where each family is walking through some of their darkest days.
Yeah.
And we are privileged to be part of that and to walk them through those days and be an advocate. And our premise has always been like, it's not about what we think is right, is what you feel is right. There is no right or wrong way to celebrate somebody that you love. And there's so many different options, whether it's traditional service or let's meet at the park. Like, we have done so many different things. We had a casket on the dugout at the Blue Rock Stadium.
Oh my goodness.
So literally, like, you can imagine, like, whatever feels right for a family, we will do everything we can to make that be the way they celebrate their loved ones. And so that's kind of like how I got into the funeral world. And unfortunately, like I shared that, you know, we have walked families through that, and we've also been on the other side of the table. And so sadly, I know what it's like to lose a child, because my son Joseph was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma, which is a pretty rare bone cancer. And he was diagnosed when he was a junior in college. He was a college baseball player, played at Liberty University, and he was having hip and back pain. We all thought it was a sports injury, and you know, it's devastating as a PT mom to not have caught it sooner. But it was very aggressive, and he battled that for 2 years, and then we lost him to cancer. So, but it was one of the hardest things. It was probably the hardest thing I've ever done, and just to walk through that. But in the midst of it, like, the way he handled it with such grace, and his character, he's my hero. He's just amazing. So, like, when I sit down with a family that lost somebody, especially in the case of losing a child, it's like, I literally know what you're walking through. And we're in the club nobody wants to be in. Nobody wants to be in that club. And but because I walked that road slightly ahead of you, I can be like a sister reaching back with my hand to say, this is what helped me. These are the things that helped other families. You know, this might be something that can help you. And just to be vulnerable with each other, and to say, I understand, like, your whole world is upside down. And when I was going through school, like, you know, we had to take, like, psychology and counseling, and you know, dealing with loss and grieving and stuff like that. And literally, the loss of a child is called anomic grief, because there is no name for it. There, you can't even characterize it. It's just so out of the norm of what we expect in our life. And you know, all loss is hard. No matter what the reason, no matter what the age, no matter what the source, you know, whether it's sudden and tragic, or a long-term illness, or you know, an aging grandparent, or it's all hard. It's all loss. But the sudden tragic loss of a child, it just kind of takes your legs out from underneath of you. And it's almost like you're in the desert and the compass is just spinning wildly, like nothing makes sense. This is not the way it's supposed to be. And I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard this from other people in your podcasts and stuff like that, but so many times people say it's not supposed to be this way. This is just not right. This can't be true. And yet there you are. You know. So but and there's no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts through it. And there's a lot of people that don't understand, not because they're trying to be mean or trying to be insensitive. They just don't understand how pervasive it is, how it just completely uproots your whole world, your whole life. And like I said, when I start to say there's no shortcuts, there's just like, people might have an expectation of, you should be further along than this, Amy. Or, Karen, why are you still sad about this? Like, well, because he's still gone. He's not going to be at the next birthday party. At his sister's graduation. You know, all those different things, all those life events when, you know, there's so many great songs, you should be here, and all that stuff like that. It's like, it just puts it into words. And, you know, it's an ongoing loss. When their friends get married, and when their friends have babies, and like those things won't happen for us, you know. And it's it's an ongoing loss. And it's easy to get stuck there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's hard because it's just, your heart is ripped out of your chest. You know what I mean? It really is. But it's easy to get stuck there, but you have to just surround yourself with a good support system. You have to keep doing. I love how you guys start the podcast. What have you done for yourself?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what did I do?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's something that we should all do, you know, and like even as a staff working in the death care industry, it's really hard because it has to be perfect every day.
Yeah.
And it's a whole new set of people every day that are just devastated. And, you know, it's hard. So the self-care is really important. It's really important.
Yeah. I can imagine you guys cannot have an off day.
Yeah, if you do, you have to come in the office and have the off day with your coworkers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things that everybody's heightened. You know, when they lose somebody, it's like they're worried about, like, who knows what happened in the weeks leading up to that loss. Was one sibling not helping with mom, you know, or was it, you know, just sudden and everybody's in shock? The financial parts of it, you know, it's not cheap. You know, there's a lot of expenses associated when somebody passes away, and are they going to have enough money in the days ahead? Can they afford to move forward, you know, as a single person? Or so there's a lot of different factors at play. You know, the loss, the family dynamics, the financial part, you know, the fear of the future. There's a lot of different components. So, like, we are taking care of the logistics, taking care of their loved one, and running a service, coordinating with clergy, coordinating with cemeteries, you know, reading legal documents, who's in charge, who's legally allowed to make these decisions.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different factors. So it is hard. It's a hard industry, but there's a lot of rewards too.
Yeah.
You know, just being able to get that feedback from a family, like, you know, you guys really helped me, thank you, and stuff like that. So thank you for that feedback. I'm gonna pass that along to the
She
team.
talks about it all the time.
Yes, I do.
That's awesome.
I do.
Thank
because
you so much.
It helped so much. And, you know, I've mentioned before, and I mentioned it to you, when I went to pick up Eli's ashes, I was just expecting them to be handed to me, and I was going to go on my way. And you were so kind, because at that moment I didn't realize that you had lost your son. You shared that with me after we got into the room, but you took the time to take me aside and say, tell me about Eli. And we talked about Eli. And I don't know if you remember, but the modem or the router or something fell off the wall while we were in there talking.
Oh, yes. What in the world? I forgot about that. Oh, my God.
Yeah, we were just sitting there talking, and all of a sudden this thing was just like,
that has never happened before or since. You know?
Oh, of course.
That's so funny.
Sounds about right.
I completely forgot that. I forgot about that. Yeah, there's been some stuff that has happened.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But
I'm sure.
that was the first time the router fell.
Right off the wall.
That's funny.
That's about right for your journey.
Yes,
Al.
absolutely.
Of all the things.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I appreciated it so much. It really helped a lot.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think it's easy to get busy in your day-to-day, and but that's the first time you as a mom ever came to the funeral home.
Yeah.
And then to think, like, what do you mean this is Eli?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean he's in here? You know what I mean? It's just it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard stuff, and you know, I just always want to just ride home with you. Vacuum the house. Or something. Like, can I make you something to eat?
Yeah.
You know, it's just,
But you can feel that when you walk in. You can feel that everybody there genuinely cares. And that's not, I've been to many funerals, and that's not always been how it's felt.
Well, thank you for that. That's the efforts of a lot of people. Yeah, so I'm so glad that comes across.
Yeah,
because that's
absolutely.
always our intention.
Yeah.
And I think probably in any company that's always the intention, but there's a lot of hard days.
Yeah.
And you know, and I think maybe sometimes people it doesn't always come across that way. So I'm glad that you felt that. And
Yeah, I absolutely
we've gotten that
did.
feedback from a lot of families. So I think that that's a good thing.
It is, absolutely.
Because I mean, word of mouth is the best advertising, and if you can say to somebody else, like, I walked through that, you know what I mean, and I can say that to you, I've walked through that, I'm just a few steps ahead of you, and that empathy, just knowing, makes all the difference in the world, you know.
Absolutely.
And my mom passed away after a battle with Parkinson's, and you know, so when I meet a family who lost somebody to Parkinson's, I can understand all those hard days that went before that.
Yeah.
You know, like, she wasn't able to feed herself. She wasn't able to, you know, get up and walk around, you know, as the disease progressed. And it's just, because when you meet that family at the conference room table, it's like, they've already gone through so many hard things.
Yeah.
And now it's the finality of that. So, like, you guys are both nurses, so you understand, like, it's like we're the continuum of care. So a lot of times, like, even like during COVID and stuff like that, when people were much more aware of, you know, the first responders, the nurses, the doctors, and everything, but we're continuing that care. We're the last responders. So we actually we're taking that family that you just helped through hospice, we're just carrying them through the next phase. And then as far as like after us, then it's the aftercare. It's the follow-up. It's taking care of them in the days ahead, pointing them to the resources, telling them the things about self-care and all those things that are so important. I forget, I think you were saying about you got so many plants. And just like the value of like there's strength in those little things. There's comfort in just sitting out in the sunshine, just talking, you know, make yourself a cup of tea, go for a walk, you know, just being really intentional about taking care of you. Because it's hard stuff.
It is. And after Eli died, even the smallest thing, like you said, having a cup of tea, just the smallest things felt so big because, you know, there were times where it was like, I showered today. You know, it's just the smallest little thing was like, okay, I made a step forward.
That's true. And then you have other children. You have another child too, right? So, like, in the midst of that devastation, you still have to be what they need. And with your significant other and stuff like that, there's a lot. There's so many levels of it when you know you just don't feel like getting out of bed that day. But you kind of have to keep moving forward.
And even responding to text messages, you know, you're getting so many, and I'm so grateful for all of them. But there would be some days where I just couldn't even read the message, or I would eventually reply, but you know, there would be times where I'm like, oh, I can't even bring myself to look at my phone right now.
And there's a lot of that in the initial stages, and then it gets really quiet.
We talk about that a lot.
And there's, you know, a lot of times that feels like an abandonment. You know, it's just don't you remember? And I can remember, like, even while my son Joseph was sick, and like in the days immediately after, like, why are people smiling? Why? How is it sunny today? And just like all those things, like, don't you know?
Like, how dare the world move on?
I remember the first time I had to go out to run an errand. It was only a few days after we went to the grocery store, I think. And I was, you know, people were wandering around living life, and I thought, how dare you? My son's dead.
It's shocking.
How dare you?
It's shocking.
I mean, I know that's not rational, but in that moment, it was just startling. The world is still moving.
It is. It is. And that's good to remember that, because, like, I can remember just something simple, the gesture of somebody holding the door at Wawa, and just like eye contact and smiling at me, and I just felt like, thanks, I really needed that. And just the power of that going forward, like, to do something, like, to go out of your way to make a contact, and to say, I see you, are you okay? You know, just like, I remember also listening to one of your other podcasts when people are saying, what can I do to help you? And it's just like, we need to have a list, right? Like, I tell my families when I meet with them, I was like, you need to have a list.
Erica's the person for that, because she handled everything. Truly.
It's important
because
to
it's
have a
all
friend
the
like
stuff that
Yeah.
people don't think about,
Yes.
right? And it's like, here is a list of things to give people when they say, what do you need?
Yeah.
Like, here's the
Yes.
things that you can ask them to do.
Just
or
say,
like,
here's this, and I
Yeah.
can either bring dinner Tuesday or Thursday. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
just something
Yeah.
like take some of those decisions out of the equation.
Yeah,
It's
and we
really
talk a lot
powerful.
about like that abandonment piece where it's like you have all this contact and all this planning, and you get into like task fatigue planning for like Eli's celebration or a funeral or whatever it is that family chooses. But then that hits, and it's like within 2 weeks, it's like, okay, now what? There's no one
Yeah.
messaging me. I still haven't gone out, or
Yeah.
now I don't have something to plan for, and that's where a lot of people, it would be like a great thought to say, okay, I'm in 15 days, we're going to go out.
Yeah.
You know?
And Erica did do that. She did. So after, things quieted down, it was just like, okay, we're doing this on this day. It was just period.
Yep.
You're doing this.
Like, I am
Yeah.
coming to you, and
Yeah.
we are, if we don't go out, I am bringing something, and we are going to be together, whatever that might be. And I got her out the door. So
Yeah.
that was a success.
It's really important to have a friend like that, and it's really important to be a friend like that.
Yes.
Because,
Absolutely.
you don't know what the other person's going through. So to just, reaching out and being kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, one of the things I always tell families when I'm meeting with them too is that like you have to be an educator. You have to let people know how they can help you and having a list, either prepared so you have an answer when they say, what can I do to help? But what you need could vary from day to day. So today you might want to go out. Tomorrow you just want to sit on the couch with cozy socks and a blanket and just talk about Eli.
Yeah.
Or just, there's all different things. But I think it's so important to say their name.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like have those conversations. Like don't think you're going to make me sad.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
already thinking about it.
Yes.
I'm already thinking it. So, educate people what you need, and that can change from day to day.
Yeah.
I think that's
And
important.
What you just brought up, saying their name, is so important. And we've mentioned it multiple times. Saying their name is not going to remind me that Eli's not here anymore. I think of it every morning when I wake up and every night when I go to bed and multiple times through the day.
Yeah.
It's always in my thoughts. I'm sure Joseph is always in your thoughts.
Sure.
So saying their name it's actually a blessing. It makes me happy when somebody's like, oh, Eli would have thought this was funny, or remember the time Eli did this?
Yeah. And we have a really great network of people that also loved Joseph, that also loved Eli, and the families that you're working with too, Erica. Like just having that network of people who know the stories and share the memories.
Yeah.
And I am so blessed because there's so many people that still reach out to me and say, oh, look, this came up in my memories
yeah.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And just seeing like a funny picture. Or I remember at Joseph's service, one of the things that we did was we had index cards, and we had people just like share a memory.
Yeah.
And you can say that on Facebook, hey, here's my address or whatever, or can you share a memory of Eli? And it's just so special to have those.
It is.
And for my son, his birthday's February 19th, his heaven day is February 27th. So
Wow.
they're very close
Yes.
proximity. So like this time of year, it's just, it can be heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it gets quieter over time, but it's never gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's been 14 years since he passed away, and it's quieter. It's more private how you handle it. But I'm so happy that there's so many people that still reach out and say, "Oh, I was thinking of Joseph today," or his cousins will send me a picture or a memory, aunts and uncles, friends.
Yeah.
So and like people he played sports with, and so
It means so
celebrating
much.
that it's so
Yes.
important. It's so
It
important.
is.
So I would just say, like, for people that listen to your podcast, like, please do that. Reach out to people in the time where it gets quiet.
Yes.
Because there's so many things happening. Like, I'm not saying don't be involved around the time of the service, but don't forget to go back.
Yeah.
To revisit and to touch base with your people.
Yeah.
It's so important.
And, Erica's mentioned before about, we don't get the opportunity to make new memories. So when people share their memory, that's a new memory for us.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's super important for people to share stories.
That was one of the things that was such an unexpected joy when reading those index cards.
Yeah.
Like, I never knew that story.
Yes.
Like, that's so cool. And it's just
notebooks.
another cause for celebrating.
Yeah,
We
we
had
put
notebooks
notebooks out at Eli's service.
that's
so like
good.
each table, we did a whole thing. He loved Uno, so we had Uno decks at each table, and some people stayed the entire time playing Uno, which was awesome. We
And every
had
time they
notebooks
play it,
out.
they're going to think of him.
Yes.
Which is awesome. You know?
And we had notebooks out so people could share stories. So I'm planning
That's
on
a good
doing that
idea.
again, just, in case they want to write anything this time.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
That's when we're doing life celebrations and stuff like that, we always encourage families, bring stuff in.
Yeah.
Like if they were a knitter or a crocheter, bring those blankets. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or if they're fishermen, bring the rods. And we even had somebody bring their Harley in.
Oh,
one
Yeah.
time.
I love that.
So like just different things to celebrate
like
things
who
are so
they
special.
are.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eli was also drew, so a lot of people didn't know that. So I had some of his drawings up, and it was a surprise to a lot of people because they didn't realize that he drew.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he loved music. Everybody knew that.
And you had his guitars
yes,
there.
we had the guitars there.
Some of his books.
Yeah, his books, and we had his playlist. He had shared his playlist with me years ago, but he kept adding to it. So there's like 90 hours of
so
music or something. It's insane. So we just had his music playing.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so we tried to make it very,
Personalized.
yes.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
It's so fun always too to like, one of my favorite things is taking pictures and like them bringing pictures.
Yeah.
Like doing a picture setup for somebody is like
Erica
kind of
did
that,
a beautiful job of
that
that.
thing.
Yes.
It's like the thing that's like, I can think through that and I can be like, I can make this and everyone can see all these memories all at once.
Yes.
Like for Eli, we did the stands and had all the pictures up and pictures on the table.
Yeah.
We had a family member just a year before Eli who passed away, and they had books, but the family members who brought the photo books had never shared them with like his kids. So it was all these like young pictures of him, and they had
that's so
never seen
nice.
them.
Oh,
So they
that's
got to
so
look through
special.
that and have all these people around them who loved their dad, and just got to look through those people. Oh yeah, that was the time this, and that was the time that, and they got to learn all these new things about him.
That's one of the things, like when I said we get invited into that inner circle of families, and just hearing them laugh about stories and stuff like that, and just see that, oh my goodness, look at him with the high socks and short shorts, like over the years and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's great.
yeah.
I always will encourage that, and like the at that event as well, he was on a race car team
Okay.
where he worked on the cars, and so they brought one of the cars.
Oh,
And they
wow.
had it outside, and like so everyone had to walk by it,
Oh,
and they could
that's
take pictures and
cool.
stuff with it. So
That's really
it's
cool.
so fun to
It's like their
be
legacy,
creative.
the
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
that
Yes. Yeah. And it's like you just bring these things. Like it's not going to hurt anyone. People will love it. It's
Yes.
I'm always big on giving somebody something to do if they don't want to talk.
Yeah.
So whether it's having Uno or having like a book or having just enough things to look at that they don't have to stand there in the corner and just be like, I don't want to talk to anybody right now, but they can have something to do that gives them a connection, but it doesn't have to be a conversation because some people just aren't ready.
Yeah, and their heart is too heavy and they don't want to engage. That's actually an interesting thing because everybody lost the same person, but everybody handles it in a different way. And that way that they're processing can change over time. So like my daughter is very intrinsic processor. So she just kind of kept everything inside. And I felt like I was like, I want to talk about it. I just like felt like I was pulling it out of her just to make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
Because she was 16 when Joseph passed away. So like I just was worried because she wasn't talking. But then she would write a song and she would, so she would process it in different ways. And it's important to remember to let everybody do it their way.
Yeah.
So, but that's important to remind myself of
Yeah.
as a mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not just as a funeral home person. I mean, just like as and in the days ahead too, like over time, how does she process?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. And it's always interesting to me. Our family is a very, let's get to the funeral. Let's like get it done, because it's like you don't want to get into feeling normal again and then have to go back and do that.
Yes.
But there are some families that are completely, it's like, nope, we're going to plan this for 4 weeks out. We need to have time for this. I need to think about this and that. And I'm just like, it's like one of those things. I'm like, okay, are you sure? You're going to have to go back to work before that. And then it's going to feel normal. And then you're not going to know what to do. Right? Like, and sometimes it's, inevitable. They have to do it that way. But it is that like, okay, let's put this all in one piece, because you go back to life and start feeling a little bit of like, I can almost see it. And then it's opening up
all over
the wound again.
Yeah.
And that being said, I think it's really important too to do something.
Yes.
You have to do some, like it's a cultural universal. You lose somebody, there's an announcement of the death. There's like the service. There's, like all the traditions that are like every culture across the world.
Right.
You manage that loss. You share it with your people in your group.
Yeah.
Your social connections and stuff like that. And what really, that's, you learn that in school and you think, okay, I can answer that test. And, I know that's a cultural universal. But what really brought it to the forefront was COVID.
Yes.
And when these poor families weren't able to go see their loved ones in the hospital and they pass away, and then as the continuum of care, I also have to say, we, at the beginning, there was so many unknowns.
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
It was like really like handling the bodies was different.
Yeah. Are we embalming? Are we just doing direct burial, direct cremation? So like there was a lot of things that I had to be compliant with the state laws too.
Yeah.
And so they're still not able to see their loved ones, and it's a really big difference. I had 2 uncles who passed away in that general time period. One was right before COVID, and one was in the midst of it, and the type of services that we were able to do were, a full service cremation. The body was present. There was the visitation, private time, public time, service, and then go to the cemetery. Like all of that, and all the people are there. And then later it had to be a direct cremation because of the rules on there could be only 10 people in the building.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You have to be 6 feet apart. Like all of that stuff, like all those norms of how we handle death and dying and socially getting support from our people group, it was all totally different. And so many of our families just really struggled. They had complicated grief because they weren't able to get that connection, that feeling of love and support from people.
Yes.
And they had a lot of problems after that because it was
a lot of prolonged grief in that time frame too.
Yeah, because
and everything was like, the world was so unsteady as it was.
The world was unsteady, and everybody was like, "My plate is full. I can't hear about that."
Yeah.
Or it was just so different in how they were supported. So at one point we did something a little crazy. When we could only have 10 people in the building, we came up with something called a mobile visitation. So we have a circular drive around our facility. So we had people come in. We rented one of those big white tents, like a catering tent, and then we would bring out the closed casket, brought out a rug and upholstered chairs, and we had the stanchions set up. So people would come in, go around the circular drive. Our staff would write down their name in the guest book, and then they could stop, and the family, keeping the 10-foot rules and all that stuff, they could be there but have eye contact and to say, I love you, she was so funny, she was my favorite teacher, like whatever the connection was. It was just like restoring that connection that was like so lost. You know what I mean? And just
I love that you did that for them.
Yeah.
So we called it a mobile visitation. Some people thought we were a little bit crazy, but
I love it. Drive-by birthdays. Why not drive-by funerals?
My daughter had a drive-by graduation.
So
it's
so
how
it was a crazy time of history. But it really brought everything to the forefront. Like this is not just something you read in in a book.
Yeah.
You know, this is like really and truly how we manage grief, how we manage loss is with our connections with people, you know. It's just so important. There's so much power in that.
Yeah.
So
I love that you did that. That's amazing.
yeah, it's out of the box.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
really neat.
Definitely out of the box.
Yeah.
Is
But
there
that-
like, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and that just shows how much you care, because I don't know of anybody else that was doing that. Not over here anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean,
I know I had some family members attend drive-by funerals,
Yeah.
but I don't know where they were, but it's
Yeah.
very, very well could have been.
Yeah.
Because we're in Delaware, so
Yes.
very much could have been.
Yeah.
yeah, it could have been. I don't know
Honestly.
if anybody else was doing that or not, but
But the fact that you thought outside the box to make this happen so that the family could have support
yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, closed casket.
Yeah.
Sure.
We had their pictures outside
Yeah.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. We just did the big CVS posters
Yeah.
and stuff like that, or Walgreens.
Yeah.
Is there like a good support network among funeral directors where there's like idea sharing and like support in that way?
There's the Delaware State Funeral Directors Association. We have like, you know, meetings, and then there's like we have like the annual conference, biannual conference, and there's a lot of resources there. And then the National Funeral Directors Association, and then CANA, the Cremation Association of North America. There's a lot of different organizations in place, and they have there's a high burnout rate because it's
Believe it.
it's high set. It's a
Yeah.
high. It's a lot of saturation of very sad, very hard
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of support things
That's
for
good.
people in the death care industry, which you probably are familiar with that from
Yeah.
your palliative care and hospice and stuff, because
Yeah.
you're dealing with really hard things.
It's definitely like a person, like you have to be the right person. There are
Yeah.
certain people that are built for it and who can withstand it and still do it well, because that's the balance. It's you
Yeah.
have to be able to have some boundaries with it and still be okay with what you're seeing and doing, right?
Exactly.
We talk a lot about, I do like pediatric hospice, and so we talk a lot about you know, having it be a gift. We have to look at it as, if we were not here, they could not bring their child home. And they would not be prepared as we can help them be. And look at like what a gift it is to be invited into this space and allow them to have these memories as a family. Like
Exactly.
it's so hard.
And like the
but, yeah.
balancing act between being like professional, respectful, loving, kind,
Yes.
and also like keeping some fun
Yeah.
and keeping the humor in it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
we joke around in the office, and I'm gonna,
Yeah.
you know, tell one of our behind the scenes taglines,
Yeah.
but we keep the fun in funeral because,
Yeah.
like, really, you have to celebrate the good
Yes.
in
Yeah.
the midst of the hard.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but you know, there's times when we'll be meeting a family, and you can just hear people laughing in the conference room because they're telling a great story.
Yes.
Yes.
They're saying something funny, or you know, and it's like that bittersweet combination.
Yeah.
And
of-
it's really hard for people to understand that they can exist at the same time.
Right.
It's okay to laugh and remember happy things
Right.
and be sad.
like not at all from a disrespectful place,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
in a like, you know,
Yep.
you have to take a deep breath, and you know,
But it is hard, and I'm sure, you know, as a mom that's lost her son, the first time I laughed, I felt so guilty.
yes,
Like, how dare I?
like.
What
Did
is
you
wrong with
forget?
me? Yeah.
Amy? Did you forget what happened?
Exactly.
I know
Yeah.
it's shocking almost when
Yeah.
you get to the point where you do laugh
Yeah.
about something. It's just like, you know.
Yeah.
And there's resources for the death care industry people, and then there's resources that we can share with our families. We have a lot of grief and healing videos and recommended books and stuff on our website, stranofeely.com. And then there's like Grief Share. There's a lot of great programs out there, and you know, the thing is that when you're serving the wide population, there's all different backgrounds.
Yeah.
There are people coming at it from, you know, very different belief systems and stuff like that. And so we're sensitive to that. But I mean, myself personally, like my faith is what really kept me in the game. But, you know, losing Joseph, and there's so many resources that just walked me through it. And then keeping your eyes open to the blessings that keep coming.
Yeah.
So, like, one of the things, my son always played sports. He was in every imaginable sport. And whenever he could, he would pick 7 as his number. So when I get random 7s, I just feel like that's like a little God wink or something, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Or some people see pennies or dimes or feathers or cardinals. You know, there's all different things.
Yeah.
So if you look for stuff,
you'll see it.
Yeah. Have you experienced that?
Oh, yeah. I was getting pennies in the beginning. Recently, I was leaving work, and there was a Uno card by my car.
No way.
Yes. And I'm like, what are the chances of this random Uno card being
See,
here?
that's not a mistake. In my opinion, that's not a mistake.
Yeah. So I definitely get them. Or sometimes I'll walk in somewhere and either a song will just start playing and there was no music before, or just a song that, you know, I know that it's one of his songs will come on, and I'm like, it happened.
Like a favorite song.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I remember.
Yeah. It happened to us when that time that you made me come out. Yeah. Yep. A song came on, and I was like, that's Eli.
Yeah.
That's so, that's special.
Yeah.
When you get those little glimpses.
Yes.
You know?
And I'm grateful for them.
Me too.
They help you get through.
They do, and sometimes it's like, wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it makes me think, did I miss any other ones today?
And I'm sure we have. But sometimes, you know, a sunrise or a sunset will just be so beautiful, and I'm just like, thank you, because you know, I got to see it. Or this winter was so weird. Had my defroster on for the front windshield, and it was defrosting into the shape of a heart. It's never done it before, never done it since. But this morning, that's one morning, it was defrosting into a heart. And I was like, I know that's him.
Yeah, I love that.
And there are sometimes, you know, like you think you see something out of the corner of your eye or whatever. And I'm like, oh, maybe.
Yeah. I know. And, you know, they just kind of are nice little things. Get your heart going. It's a nice little blessing.
Yeah. It is.
Absolutely.
It definitely is.
So we're coming up, you know, on year 2. So we're very close to the 1 year with Eli. And we talk a lot about the first year being hard and the second year being harder.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Because I think it's for a couple of reasons. I think the first year you're already on guard for everything.
Yeah.
So the first of every holiday, the first birthday, the first, you know, time you went camping every year, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And when it's different.
Yes.
Like that year first, you're kind of like guarding.
Yeah.
You're kind of prepping for that.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know about you, but like the time of day even. Like every time I would see 11:07 on the clock, the time he passed away, it's just like, it's shocking.
I would get stuck. In the beginning, I was stuck on the time. Yeah. I was really stuck on that.
Me too. And I mean, it's just something like, I think it's just, you can't not see it.
Yeah.
And then, so I think the first year, you're kind of like so hyper vigilant that you see it all. And then the second year, it's just kind of like sometimes it surprises you. It's like a football clipping injury. You know, you're just walking along and somebody takes your knees out because you see something, you remember something, or, you know, something happens.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I almost wanted to tell him that.
Yeah.
So one of the things we had started to talk about was the importance of having some kind of a service.
Yes.
And, you know, sometimes it's for financial reasons, or sometimes it's just for like privacy reasons, or the loved one didn't want a service or whatever. You know, sometimes people just do a direct cremation or a direct burial, and it's just all private. And but I think it's really important for the family and the grieving process to have a celebration of that person, even if it's in your living room, but it's something intentional, it's something planned, and it's celebrating them.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't have to be like the full-blown, like you said, organist playing. And all that kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be like a, you know, structured traditional thing, but it's really important part of that. We talked a little bit about cultural universals. It's an important part of the grieving process and the healing process. It's really an important thing to, whatever that feels like to your family is what you should do. But skipping it leads to complicated grief. Skipping
absolutely.
it just makes people feel unseen and unrecognized.
And it doesn't, like, people from the outside of that family too.
Well,
like,
that's what I was going to mention.
They just find out, and then that's that.
Yeah.
And there's
Like,
no chance.
and they don't get a
Why didn't you
chance.
call me?
Yeah.
You know, it's an important. It's not just because it's not just the person who lost them. It's the acquaintances. It's people that worked with them, and you know, they might want to come and share a story. And they might want to, you know. But again, it's got to be what feels right for the family.
Right.
But it's important, even within, if it's 15 people at your house or 5 people, to have an intentional gathering to say, we're here today to honor life. Somebody's so important in our life.
And I mean, that's like, we've gotten to the point where previously you didn't talk if somebody died of an overdose or died by suicide. You just kind of, just sweep this under the rug.
A lot of stigmas
and
associated
so
with
many
those things.
Exactly. So many families just lost the ability to feel supported and feel like people loved their family member because they felt so stigmatized by it. And I think that that's shifting in today's culture. I really feel like we're seeing a lot more families who, you know, you can't have a conversation about somebody that you know who has an addiction problem without somebody else. My uncle, my brother, my sister.
Everybody. It really is, and
it's
that's
in every
like
family now.
The origin of that name, Face the Facts, it affects all of us. And we need to face the facts about it. And you know, whether it's from addiction or like medical complications from addiction down the road, or if it's the underlying mental health component that is so often the case. Those are all things that we need to have those conversations, and we need to be honest with each other and say, this is what happened, and it's really hard. So you have the loss, and you have all the logistics to plan and all the rearranging of your life. But then you have that whole other level of the reason that they died. Like, why did they not come to me? Why did they... Like, there's a lot of guilt and a lot of stigma and a lot of shame. There shouldn't be.
No, there shouldn't.
There shouldn't be.
Loss is loss.
Exactly. No matter what the loss stemmed from, supporting each other in that is so important. And to feel like embarrassed about the reason or like, what did I do? What did I not do correctly? Was there something I could have said? Was there someplace I should have taken him? Was there something else I could have done? And especially, like, you know, with mental health issues and also with the addiction story that so many people walk through, there's a lot of hard days from the beginning to the end. And, you know, that trajectory that they're on, you know, sometimes families feel powerless. And, you know, a lot of bridges got burned over the years as far as, like, did they steal from family members? Did they, you know, they just weren't seeming like to take the olive branch or get the help, but they were just in the quagmire of that addiction. And it's just, you know, it changes everything. Chemistry and everything. It's devastating. But then with a lot of times when we are serving a family that lost somebody due to suicide, a lot of times people say, how many suicides do you do? Because they feel so alone in that, because people don't talk about it.
Exactly.
So you don't know that you're not the only one. But it's more common than people want to talk about. And more in the younger population. It's just the stats of suicide loss in young people like Eli. It's devastating. And like, what are we doing wrong as a community? Well, how can we better support these kids? How can we better support the families in the wake of that? It's devastating. And it's like you have all those normal things of loss and then that whole other layer of hard.
And I do want to say, you know, if you ever have the opportunity where someone needs someone to talk to, they lost someone to suicide, I would be more than willing to
That would be amazing.
share my story, offer support, whatever they need.
I think that would be so beneficial to people because they do feel so isolated and alone. And you've just walked. You're that sister that's just a few steps ahead. And you can really have a huge impact on somebody.
Yeah.
So I would reach out to you first and then like give you the contact information.
absolutely.
Kind of put the two of you guys together because it's powerful.
Yeah.
There's strength
Absolutely.
in, there's strength in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And there's strength in like moms helping each other.
And I've said that before. There's this instant connection to another mom when you find out that they've lost a child. It's just you immediately bond to that person because no one else knows how that feels except another mom that's lost their child.
And not to negate the father's loss, but it's biologically it's different.
Yeah,
it is. We're the nurturers, and like their cells are literally still in our body, and vice versa. They have a piece of us. We have a piece of them. So that's a connection biologically that just never goes away. It never goes away.
Yeah.
We have a group called, believe it or not, it's called Elephant Moms because like an elephant never forgets.
Oh, yeah.
It has nothing to do with our body's shape.
Yeah.
No. That would be the reason I'm not going.
I know. Like, can we call it something else?
Yeah.
But it's like because an elephant never forgets and a mom never forgets.
Yeah.
And it has been such a powerful group to be part of just because, there's no explaining. You don't have to do any explaining.
Yeah.
And they just get it.
Yeah.
And, so that's another good resource, like defining like a mom support group is I think really important. And there's other resources. There's a group in Delaware called Help and Hope. It's Mark Inc. And they there's like all kinds of resources, like interviews of people who've walked through different hard things, whether it's loss of a child. Actually, the nonprofit was born out of that.
Okay.
Because they lost their son in a tragic car accident. And so they started putting resources together over the past 30 years. And it's like a lot of really helpful information and stuff like that. And whether it's like PTSD or like chronic illness or loss of grief and from all different sources, miscarriage or terminal illness and stuff like that. So that would be a good resource for you to share with people too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What was that one? Was the website?
It's called Help and Hope now. helpandhope.org.
Okay.
I'm on the board for them too. That's a really good organization. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
Also in 2017, we co-founded a group in Delaware called Face the Facts Delaware, and it's a community outreach program. It does harm reduction and it's support for people struggling with addiction and loss related to addiction. And it actually kind of started because we were doing so many overdose related services, and so we reached out to another mom who had lost her son to an overdose, and we did his services, and I knew she was getting involved in the community and getting involved, and so we had meetings at the funeral home once a month. And then we have since changed the venue, and just because of commitment of time and stuff like that, I stepped down from the active board, but it's a really good organization. Face the Facts Delaware, they do overdose awareness day events. There's another great resource called Hope on Deck, and they actually have like resources where people can come and shop for free. Anything they need, like clothing, food, household goods and stuff like that, when people are getting back on their feet. So when you're dealing with this in the community, there are so many times like there's like underlying causes of addiction, like mental health and just like different family histories and stuff like that. And so there's like, it's good to know that there's a lot of resources out there to help people. Phoenix Family Services and Phoenix Youth Clothing. Again, they just help, match needs and resources. So there's a lot of different organizations, and I think a lot of the families, moms especially, that I've come to know over the years, they just get involved and they're active as volunteers, and that helps them.
Yes, it does.
To help someone else.
We talk a lot about legacy building and
good.
really trying to make meaning, because it does help when it feels just so senseless and tragic. Just finding something to help say their name again, or build something out of what you've been through. Yeah.
And helping others either hopefully prevent or help them through that journey.
Yeah. Because you just never know, you know, when it's gonna, like, I think one of the things, like, with Face the Facts is, like, we have to face the facts that it could be any of us in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, with Eli's situation too, you know, suicide, and, you know, we just never know what's going to be right around the corner.
Yeah.
And just being, like, being there with the support, with the resources, and then I love what you said about the legacy building too, just doing something positive in their memory.
Yes.
And, you know, I've always thought about doing, like, some writing about Joseph's story and stuff like that, and just having walked many families through that, just to be able to say, like, the first day, like, what do I even do? Who do I call? What do I do? You know, it's so overwhelming. You know,
I remember, you know, the day after he passed and trying to figure out where he was, because he was at the ME's office. Then he went back to the hospital for his donation, and then he went back, I think, to the ME's office. And when we finally picked you guys, you know, you coming to get, and it's just like, where's my kid? You know, and it's just like calling different places, like, where is he?
It's so overwhelming. It is. It's like, what's going on? You know?
And we made a lot of calls that day, because we talked to the ME a couple times, I think, and we talked to different places, like you said, and just kind of tried to get some of the logistics down. And some people were just so helpful.
Yes, and
so
others were not.
Yeah. I remember just one place I called, and he's like, let me give you a list of places we're not going to be the right fit for whatever the reason was that we ended up not having them. And he said, but here's some people to call. He gave me names, not just look these people up. It was called this person at this place and this person at this place, and they'll be able to help you.
That's good.
Yeah, because
that's what we really appreciated.
Yeah, and I wanted him cremated. I did. And the fact that you have your own crematorium,
it gives people a lot of peace of mind.
That he wasn't going all around
the whole time. That you have him. You're taking care of him from the start to finish.
I would want that too.
A lot of those decisions that come, like, people don't even talk about ahead of time. So I imagine having a place where there's a choice too is a big thing for people. Like, well, we don't know what we want to do yet, so go somewhere that can do all of it, and so we can go talk.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. And it can be so overwhelming, because like I said, I don't know if it was before we started recording or not, but, like, there's so many decisions, and everybody's heightened emotionally. Everybody's devastated at the time of a loss. And then you have to deal with logistics and questions and, why do you need to know his mother's maiden name?
The vital statistics stuff is difficult sometimes.
It is. And, like, all these dozens of details, and, you know, so we always like to try to pre-plan with people as much as we can, like, especially somebody, like, in hospice or somebody where they know it's kind of approaching that time that they're going to need us. It takes a lot of pressure off the families.
I know my grandparents both, they were teachers in a different state, but they had all sorts of benefits when they retired, and it included, like, long-term care insurance and funeral benefits. So they actually, like, had everything picked out before either one of them were even sick or, like, thinking about that.
Wise.
And it was even down to, like, if we have to leave our home, here's the first place we want to go, then here's the second place we want to go. If we need medical support, here's the funeral, we're both using the same place, we're doing this church and that. And it was just, like,
it's
easy.
a real gift to the family too, because you don't have to guess. And, you know, sometimes parents, as they're getting older too, they might say one thing to one kid and another to the other one. So at the conference room table, they're like, no, they told me this. No, they told me
And especially if they start, like, having some memory issues or cognition issues, whatever it might be. Right. Like, my mom has from, like, we've been to a lot of funerals, and every time we go to a funeral, she'll be like, I don't want organ music. Or it'll be like, do not pick a pink fluffy casket for me.
Yeah.
You know, every time you go to one, there's something else that she is telling us.
Details.
And I'm like,
yeah,
are we
just
writing
get
these down, or are we
zoned
going to
in.
remember this?
yeah.
We're gonna narrow
I don't
it.
know. I feel like, I don't know. I've done it myself too, because I'm like, I don't want everybody just crying and being sad. Like, I want a party.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the celebration of life
Yeah.
part of things, I think that's really powerful.
Do you find that that's like trending up? Is that like
Yes.
something that people are doing more of? Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it really depends on the family.
Sure, yeah.
Because, like, culturally, if they're very traditional, they're going to want to have a traditional service. But there's also, like, a shift away from, like, more into, like, humanism and stuff where it's not as much like a organized religion and stuff like that. So there's some things that are just, like, more out of the box.
Yeah.
So it's definitely trending. It's definitely trending more towards cremation versus burial.
Yeah.
You know, at the turn of the century, it was very rare.
Yeah.
And now it's like, you know, probably like 58 to 60%
Wow.
will end up in some form of cremation.
Yeah.
So a lot of families like to do like full service cremation where it's kind of like a traditional blend. So the body's present and then they're cremated after the service.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the traditional, but without, you know, like all of the cemetery costs.
Because if they're able to be seen for a visitation, I'm sure a lot of families feel like that's closure for
It
people to
is.
actually see.
Yeah, it is closure
Yeah.
for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then other people are like, I don't know anybody looking at me. So
Yeah.
that's the benefit of pre-planning. 'Cause
Yeah.
it could be
Absolutely.
the way you want it to
Yeah.
be and not, you know, geared more towards a celebration as opposed to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
We have such a fun time in my family because, like, you know, we always talk about what to do afterward. And it's, you know, oh, well, I know this person who took the ashes and got them put in a tattoo, and then they have the tattoo on there. Or, like, we were on vacation somewhere and we were like, when we die, let's put our bodies in trees and have the trees here. Because you can get the pods that turn into the trees. And we're like, right here, this is exactly where we want to go.
do all
You
of that.
I was
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
say, do
Really?
you guys do that?
That's great.
Yeah, literally there's so many different things. You can have cremated remains added to fireworks.
I've heard
Oh
of that.
my goodness, I didn't know
So
that.
much fun. Go ahead, send you like
packed
a
in-
firework.
Yeah.
packed into
right.
ammunition, like for the hunters
Oh
in your
my
life.
goodness,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, there's like you can become part of a coral reef or be sent out into outer space. There's
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
The
literally-
reef thing is a lot of fun.
You
Yeah.
can do casting from a plane. You know, there's like
Oh, wow.
so many different. You can be compressed into a diamond or a gemstone.
Wow.
That sounds like a fun one.
Yeah.
I think if I was young and my kids were still young, that would be
Yeah.
like a thing to have them have jewelry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many options.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
all, I'm
when
sure
they
it
say,
all
this
changes.
is my mom's ring. It has a whole new meaning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the thing. And as you get older, I'm sure, and as, you know, things change, you're like, okay, now I'm shifting away from wanting that. Like, and now I want this. And now I want
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
And then
And-
you hope that your family knows what you want.
You know what's also really special too? Like we have like a lot of the thumbprint
Yeah.
jewelry and
Yeah.
like, different things.
Yeah, I need to
I
do
just
that.
love being able to just feel his thumbprint. You know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just like, you know,
Yeah.
That's so neat.
yeah.
All of the like fun memory making things, which aren't fun in the moment, but
Yeah.
it's being able to get those opportunities. You know, we talk
Yeah.
a lot about like infant loss and stuff, and it's like, no, get the footprint on everything you can.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, especially if they are born alive and you have time with them. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's going to seem silly, but put that footprint on
Yeah.
everything because you're
Exactly.
going to want it.
Yeah.
And you don't even
Absolutely.
know you want it.
One-
Yes.
One of the things that I wish I had asked for was some of his hair. Like he had
Yeah,
long
long
hair, and I was like, after the fact, you know, you don't think, because there's just you're not thinking clear.
Right.
But after the fact, I was like, oh, I wish I had asked for some of his hair.
Yeah. Which
So-
now is good.
Yeah.
But like,
Then
fun story for Amy that
Yeah.
doesn't know this one.
Yeah.
When we were cleaning out my grandmother's house, there was a box, and we opened the box, and there's
Hair.
teeny tiny shoes and a whole bunch of hair.
Yeah.
And it was her sister who died at 5.
Oh,
So my
but she
grandmother
saved
had
it.
kept her hair and shoes
Yeah.
for, I mean, this 100 years
Yeah.
practically
Oh,
at that
wow.
point.
Yeah.
And it was like, and now what do we do?
Yeah.
Because somebody's got to make a decision then.
That is a question.
What
Yeah.
do we do with
So-
this? Because I'm not taking it
That's
home.
what I
and
was
we're
going to
not-
say with the cremation, because, you know, obviously it's important to me. It's important to Hannah, and, you know, if Hannah ever has kids, maybe. But then beyond that, is anybody really going to
There's a point at which somebody will spread it somewhere.
Right.
That's what you hope, right?
Yeah.
That it doesn't fall over and
Right.
break, and then it'll all end up
Exactly.
in your vacuum, because that would be the most tragic.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and again, no right or wrong, but some people will divide cremated remains among all the kids. Sometimes it's like mixing in with the tree or do burial, and there's no right or wrong. And it can change what you want to do.
So maybe after some time and, you know, say I'm like, oh, I want to put Eli's ashes up in fireworks. Years later, you can
We could help
do
you
that.
with that.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe.
I have a vision.
We don't actually make the fireworks at Strano and Feeley, but we could get them.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Anything you want.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
That is so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, just the ability to be creative afterwards. Like, they would have loved this, or like, oh, they would have hated that.
Yes. And sometimes people want to take the cremated remains home with them until they pass away.
Yeah.
And then you're buried all together. You know, so again, it doesn't, there's whatever feels right for you.
Yeah.
Do you have people mix ashes? Really?
Yeah, we have to, we make them sign a commingle form.
Okay.
Because, like, that's a very important thing, like, not commingling, but if they want, like, parents commingled, they have to sign an affidavit saying that was their request, and then we will.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but you can do that.
Yeah. Because I feel like I would want to do that.
Yeah.
Eli's going to be like, give me room, Mom.
Yeah,
Come
like,
on.
I can't even get away from you and Dad.
Because you know that's what he'd say.
Yeah, exactly.
Space, Mom.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, this was my shrine.
Yeah, exactly.
But when my son passed away, we did burial.
Okay.
And I just, like, some people, like, never go back to the cemetery.
Yeah.
I do go back.
Yeah.
I feel like his gravestone is like it's like a place where I can still show honor to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, his birthday, the holidays, bring a wreath and stuff like that. To me, I just feel like it's a very peaceful place. It's sad, but it's also like it's something I can do for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still.
And it's like
Absolutely.
you get
It's
to
like
go
a
somewhere and do so. Like
Yes.
you are, when you're there, you're just in that moment. There's nothing else that you need to be thinking about. It's just you there with him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad is buried, and we don't go off. Like, you know, just not those people. And my mom owns the plot next to him, and so the conversation is now, well, okay, where am I getting buried? Am I finding a spot with my new husband? Am I going to that one? What are we doing? And it's a big conversation in our family, and I have no idea how this is going to end.
Yeah. Again, the benefits of pre-planning. What does she want to do?
And she's talking about selling it, you know, selling the plot, and it's like, okay, well, and she's like, well, maybe you want it, and I'm like, maybe I want to be cremated, like maybe I like it because it's not a thing anymore.
But you can put multiple cremated remains in that grave.
Yeah, that's
depending
true.
on the cemetery.
Yeah.
How many they'll let you do.
Okay.
But you could be with your whole family in the grave next door.
Okay.
Yeah.
To your dad. You know.
Good to know.
Yeah.
See if she passes that on to me.
Yeah.
We'll see what she does. She'll be moved to a different state by then. She'll be long gone.
So I just wanted to mention, you were talking about visiting your son, you know, holidays and all that. So Eli always wore a Santa hat during Christmas. So I put a Santa hat on his urn.
I love it. That's great.
Because he would have loved that.
Yeah.
He would have thought that was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Because my daughter, Hannah, she was like, when I did it, I didn't tell anybody I was doing it. I just put his Santa hat on there. And she comes out in the living room and she was like, oh my God, Eli would have loved that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No,
she was like,
she
she was like, that's so dark, but Eli would have loved it.
And like, kind of thank goodness he was a dark kid, because
Yes.
you get those opportunities
Oh,
to
yeah.
make
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
make these memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
that's
sure. Oh man.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
It's been really fun.
Yeah.
Is there
I guess-
anything that you thought we might ask that we didn't, that you thought would be fascinating to share?
I don't know. I feel like we've been kind of rolling along here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I always, like, not in the funeral setting, but, like, outside of the funeral setting, people say, you know, I've always wanted to ask a funeral director this. Do you have a question you would want to ask me?
Ooh. Look how she flipped that on
I
us.
know. I
You are a
like
professional
it.
at
I
this.
like it.
I mean, obviously, I have the question you probably get a lot, which is like, okay, what's the craziest like funeral or like what's the craziest thing a family has requested of you?
Oh, gosh. I don't know if I can say it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, there's
okay.
been some crazy stuff.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
And crazy, maybe not even the word, but maybe like, you were like, I really have to problem solve this.
Yeah.
I'm going to make this happen, but I gotta figure this out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you off air.
Oh, okay.
that's
All right,
fine.
Jack, we're going to
That's
cut that
fine.
out.
Yeah. Anonymously, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I'm sure, because we're talking about child loss, and being a mom that's lost a child, how does that affect you when a child comes in?
It rips my heart out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're reliving, or is it more like, I know how you feel?
More so from the empathy
Yeah.
standpoint. I know how you feel. I think earlier on it was like reliving it.
Yeah.
Like, but everything triggers that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But more so, like, I just, like, sometimes I'll sit with a family and I just, like, it makes me so upset because I think you have no idea what's coming.
Yeah.
Because you think this is hard. It's going to get so hard.
Yeah. And it's
And
true.
I wish I could pick them up and put them 5 years down the road.
Yeah.
But there's value in that time. And it's not wasted.
Yeah.
It's not wasted time. You learn, you grow, you change.
Yeah.
You're not the same person. You'll never be the same person again. Your family will never be the same. Sometimes families change and break.
Yeah.
And was it from the loss or was it from multiple sort of things? I mean, probably everything.
Yeah.
But there's no shortcuts. I think I said that earlier, but I just wish so many times when I'm meeting a family, I think I'm just so devastated for what they're about to walk through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to describe what that is like, and that cognitive dissonance of what they're about to face.
Yeah.
And I just wish I could pick them up and carry them further ahead and save them some pain, but you can't. There's no shortcuts. You have to walk through that.
Yeah. If anything, the only possible way to do that is to talk to the person who's with them, right? Like maybe it's a non-family member or somebody who's there and like asking, what do I do? Like, how do I help them?
Yeah.
Say, okay, here's some time frames. Make sure you're touching base.
Yeah.
Send them flowers. Get them out the door. Talk about take them to somewhere where their kid loved.
Yeah.
Like, keep their memory alive. Keep saying their name. I mean, I've had families ask me, how am I supposed to support, this mother through this? And I'm like, talk about their child. Don't ever be afraid to say their name. Don't ever be afraid to say, oh, like, if they were here, like, or have a seat for them at dinner or whatever it is, show them that their child mattered.
Yeah. That's funny. You said about have the seat for them. One of Joseph's best friends got married a few months after he passed away, and he was supposed to be in their wedding and stuff like that, and they literally had a place for him at the table. And they didn't replace him as an usher. One of the ushers walked with two of the ladies, and that is one of those things that he has remained such a faithful friend and talks to his kids about him. And now coaches where Joseph played, and like his school named the baseball field after him. And so there's been so many things that just like kind of get you through the next hard thing.
Yeah.
But that was just like, that's those things that you treasure in your heart.
Yeah.
It's just unexpected wind under your wings.
Yeah. Do you feel like your work has helped you on your journey, on your grief journey?
I think not so much. I mean, yes, of course, knowing like the stages of death and like, the things that happen post-mortem, like all of those things are more clinical.
Yeah.
But I think the connection with families, and that has helped me.
Yeah.
That has helped me. And the community involvement things that we're involved in, like, with those other resources and stuff, that has helped me.
Yeah.
And just being able to be that mom who's a few steps ahead to reach back and say, this is what I did. You can try, see if this helps you. You know what I mean? That has helped me to help, because that's just kind of my structure, my makeup is empathetic, and like I just want to help somebody.
Yeah.
Whatever role it is, I want to be able to walk somebody, take some pressure off of you. That's who I am sometimes to a fault.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are things that have really helped me, and like pointing other people to those resources. And then I think one of the main things I would say, especially to people like me, is to say, don't forget to take care of yourself along the way. Yeah. So when you guys start with saying, what have you done to take care of you? Like, that's so powerful, and it's so easy to forget that component. Yeah. And I think that's definitely something that I would keep encouraging people. And like, I have to remind myself that, like, you know, you have to, you know, like in the plane, and when the mask thing drops down,
you have to take care of yourself first.
Yeah, help yourself so you can help the person next to you, and that's true.
Yeah,
and like just taking those steps to do the self-care and to give yourself some grace for those hard days.
Yeah,
and share the story.
Yeah,
share the story, so because that's going to help somebody else.
Yeah,
I think that's important.
That's great. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
I'm so happy you came.
This was great. I am too. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Been looking forward to this for sure.
Yes. We were really excited about that.
Oh, good.
Totally met the expectation. Good job.
Okay. Checked all the boxes.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, in closing, we hope we've helped a few of you feel more validated, more heard, and seen. If you're supporting someone who has lost a child, please remember to say their name, talk about them, remember them. And as always, we are here because of Eli and because of Joseph.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.